All right. Just had to refresh it there, guys. Trying to get some weather cams, but you can tell that the systems are, I don't know, they're kind of struggling this morning. Some of them are working pretty decent, but even over here, it's very sluggish. This one here is the wheel. There we go. Oh, you can see the wind picking up. This is I-20 at Thomas. I'll keep an eye on this one here for a moment. There's another cam I want to show you guys here in a little bit. We're going to go to a different cam. Once activity starts to pick up in that area, it's usually a good source. But you can see the winds picking up here. We are in this area here in north central Louisiana. You can see that camera. When you see the camera bouncing, it's a pretty good indication that the winds are starting to get cranked up. And for those of you in Mississippi, you know, I'll come on later. I'm going to stay on as long as I can. You know, I've got some things I got to go do today. To be honest, I got to go get a haircut. I'm going to go get a haircut here in a little bit, and then I'll definitely be back on. But this is going to move all across Louisiana today, this afternoon, into the early evening hours. By then, I would say, based off of what we're seeing here and the speeds of these storms, and I want to look at this real quick, guys, because we are seeing these storms get stronger, and we could see the conception of tornadoes here, and that's where we'll see them at, right here. We'll see them spawn over here when they first spawn. So that's what I'm trying to keep an eye out for. I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up, that's all. Let's see if this one will work. Yeah, there we go. Had to reboot. Sometimes you got to do that. There we go. Yeah, you can see the daytime heating starting to amplify these storms. Frequency getting stronger. Storms getting stronger. There we go. All right, so we can get an update here on the situation. We are in Louisiana. Right now is where we're at. South central Louisiana. There's the map. Starting to see lightning increase. This whole area is under a tornado watch, extending, I don't know how many miles, but that's a long way. How far is that? Let's just check and see. Long ways. I think around 90 miles. Yeah, these storm tops here are getting up into the 50, close to 60,000 foot range. You get up into 60,000 foot range, you need to be prepared to take cover. Absolutely. Again, we're in south central Louisiana. Storms are moving towards Mississippi. They're moving very quickly at anywhere from 40 to 60, 65 miles per hour. That's where we're at right now. And you can see the long tracks of these storms, and that could translate into long track tornadoes if and when tornadoes occur. And more than likely, they will occur. We saw multiple tornadoes in Texas last night. There was one in Oklahoma. The reports that I saw showed multiple tornadoes in Texas. Some of those reports could have been multiple reports of the same tornado. All I know is there were multiple tornadoes in Texas. There was an outbreak, and there could be an outbreak today. Extreme weather all across the spectrum. Again, I'm still trying to find cams that we can use to keep an eye on this weather. Lake Charles is starting to see an increase in severe weather. In fact, here's a camera from Lake Charles. Here's a 24-hour time lapse. And the last image right here is about 10 minutes ago. And you can see how quickly the daytime turned into what looks like a nighttime setting. And that's down here in Lake Charles. Right down there in that area. And it's not even as intense as it is up in Newton and Kirbyville. Kirbyville has been seeing round after round this morning of severe weather. That'll be in the Kirbyville area. And I would say that the tornado activity will probably be starting, very, very soon. It's going to be an all-day event, guys. All-day event. We're looking at south central Louisiana right now. The big corral you see here, the big rectangle, is an area of under a tornado watch by the National Weather Service. And that extends from Beaumont all the way up to and beyond Monroe, Louisiana. See storm systems right here. These are strong thunderstorms moving through the area. They're moving very quickly, but I don't see any tornado vortex signatures at the moment. But it hasn't updated. It's due to update any second. I would be able to see them over here on the left. If there were tornadoes, I would see a hook echo, not necessarily a hook echo per se, but I would see the signature for a tornado over here on the left. So I'm just trying to stay on top of this the best that I can. Internet's not wanting to cooperate completely. I did find some cameras here and there. Here's one in north central Louisiana. This is I-20 at Thomas, and you can see what we're dealing with here. It just sits there and spins out. That's what we're dealing with. So who wants to sit and watch that? You know what I mean? This camera over here. This is this was 50, I believe, 50 minutes ago. Yeah, less than an hour ago. That's what it looked like in Lake Charles. See if we can find another camera in the area. Yeah, Lake Charles. Here's Alexandria. Let's see if we can go to that camera. Or are we going to sit there and spin out again? Not as intense in Alexandria as it is in Lake Charles, even though it looks like it's more intense, but it's not. You can see those storms starting to really get cranking there. Wow. Waiting on an update here from the National Weather Service. Here we go. Go down to one window here for just a little while and see if that makes any difference. I can get a little wider field of view. I have two windows going right now. Trying to watch for these vortexes. Sun's at the equator. It's March 21st. So we are officially in spring in the northern hemisphere. Power outage update should be about the same. Yeah, around 50, 60,000 in Texas so far. That's the most power outages we've seen. Now we're back live here at I-20 in Thomas. I want to take you guys down to a bridge. We were on a bridge one time during a Cat 4 hurricane. Quite remarkable view of the hurricane as it was making landfall. It was Hurricane, I don't remember the name of the storm, Ida? Just a few years back. Okay, we want to go to the regular. Alright guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to refresh the page. Why it's giving me issues. Normally this works pretty good, but There we go. Refresh this here. Let's see what happens. There we go. Seems to be working a little better now. Yeah, it's a lot better. All right, and once this updates, yeah, definitely seeing an increase in storm activity, strength. Again, we're in the Louisiana, Mississippi. Mississippi, you're going to be in the storm activity here real soon. I would say before lunchtime, easily before lunchtime. These storms are moving very, very quickly. This will update here in just a moment, and it will show the new tornado watch, the new severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. There's the tornado watch right there. This will update here momentarily. Just had to refresh it, that's all. Sometimes on these big programs like this, every once in a while, especially if you have other programs running, you just simply have to refresh them, and I apologize for that. I don't like it either. You think in the age of high-speed internet that you wouldn't have those types of issues, but when you run big apps, they do take up a lot of bandwidth, and there's only so much bandwidth. So once they start fighting over the bandwidth, then one app will, start to run a little slower than others. So I just refreshed it, and you can see how fast it's moving now. That's how it's supposed to move. Right now, tornado watch in these areas. Zoom in a little closer. We can see the dark orange represents strength. We see pink on here, then it's definitely getting very busy. We got DeQuincy, DeRidder, Fort Polk. This will update here in just a moment. We'll see tornado activity, if any. This is a very good tool. This is one that I use for extreme weather when there's tornadoes, because it's right on top of it. It's up to the minute. It's as real time as you can get. This information comes directly from multiple sources of the National Weather Service, and they update this. So yeah, this is not a free app. It's not something you can just go get anywhere. So that's why I use it in extreme weather situations to give the best forecast that I can possibly give you guys. If I can give you an advantage, that's helpful, because today it's going to be needed. It's just that simple. It's definitely going to be needed. Look at these storms. Look at the tops of these storms on reflecting sunlight. Those are tall. That's exactly what the forecast model showed a week ago. You see the line right there. See the line between the warm air and the cold air, and then the moisture coming up from the Gulf. We're seeing incredible rainfall rates in different areas. Let's go back down to Lake Charles. That looks interesting down there. It literally looks like nighttime in Lake Charles, as they're starting to receive some of the severe weather. This is a highway cam in Louisiana, and you can see again, this is I-20 near, I believe, Monroe. Yeah, north of Monroe. Let's just check out a different one. I don't know which one of these. Yeah, that one's not necessarily online. Let's see if the wind's blowing in this area, because what you'll see is the camera bouncing. We've seen that before during hurricanes on these cameras, and these cameras are in the Louisiana area where the storms are starting to approach. Here we go. Seeing some rain. This is I-20 Well Road, east-westbound lanes. Sorry to see the rain pick up here. Let's go to this collection. This will be at I-65 or 165 and the I-20. Let's see what it looks like here. Not too bad. So no worries there for the moment. Check out this one here. That doesn't look like it's been updated. Has it been updated? It's awful dark there. Okay. Looks like traffic's moving pretty good. This is in the Monroe area. Show the video. Starting to see some rain there. And you can see the horizon here. This is looking, which direction are we looking in here? I don't really know. I think we're looking north. This would be like or east or west. But you could see potentially tornadoes off. Oh, this is traveling eastbound. Okay, eastbound, so this would be westbound lane. But these offer at least a view of the skyline, and always look for tornadoes when I view these cameras. Always. Let's see what this one looks like. I think it's a little windier here. Yeah, you can see the wind starting to pick up here. This is I-20 at Thomas. This is the westbound lane, and this is the direction that the storms are coming from over here. So you could potentially see if there were a tornado in this area. You could see it off in the distance right there. Let's go back to this one here. This is eastbound. I think I want that westbound lane. Yeah. This is traveling westbound. This is one we want, I-20 at Thomas. Go watch this one for a minute. You can see rain piling up on the highway. See the overspray from the big rigs and stuff. Rain was coming down at one point, 2 inches per hour. And it's going to fluctuate depending on, where you're at. But these storms are only going to increase in strength as we move throughout the day. It's going to be more tornadoes. Try to give you guys some different views here. Show the video. Pretty quiet there for now. It's good. Again, this is in the Monroe area. There we go. See water standing. In fact, you can see water standing in several places here. Along the left-hand side of the road, over here in this center area, the water's starting to pile up. This is I-20 at US 165. The camera is located in the median of I-20, and you can see water starting to pile up. As the rain continues to come down, they don't have any high winds necessarily in this area. A little bit. You can see the camera moving a little bit. We've been in storms using cameras on bridges that were bouncing quite extensively. In fact, bouncing so much that I thought the mount was going to break and the camera was going to come off. So these cameras are well built. They're built for the possibility of storms, especially if you're in a storm-prone area. You can see here, this is US 165 at Finks Hideaway. We are looking at the southbound lane, and you can see rain over here in both ditches on the right and left-hand side of the road. So we're starting to see water pile up in these areas. We're seeing water pile up here too. Yeah, you can see water piling up on both sides of the road, very much so over here. Raining pretty heavily. This is I-20 at Well Road. We're looking at the eastbound lane. This is the westbound lane. I always look in the background, look for the tree line and skyline. We're looking for skylines in these cameras. I was following one in Iowa one time and just missed a tornado move through the area that we were looking at with regard to the camera. We're in north central Louisiana right now. We're looking at different highway cams, trying to get a perspective of what's going on up here in these areas. The radar is showing us rain and severe weather moving into these areas. So there could be a point in time where these cameras may not work, or at least you won't be able to see too much because of the high winds, and especially if the rain starts going sideways, it will definitely not allow us to see what's even going on in the area. Let's check out some other cameras. Go down here. This is a little farther south. Oh yeah. Louisiana 28 at John Askew. Not exactly sure. You see some water over here? Or is that a... Don't know, but the sky definitely looks more ominous here. Now we're down in southern Louisiana. Where are we at? Oh, here we go. Okay. Pineville Parkway. I see some wind here. Yeah, you can see the camera kind of bouncing a little bit. Oh, there's an ominous sky right there. Here we go. Okay, northbound, so left is west. So you can see the storm moving in over here on the left. Here you go. Here's an excellent view of this storm moving in. So we're about to see firsthand. Where'd that go? I want that one back. That was a good view. We've been looking for one of those types of views. I'll get it back. And here's another good view of the skies. Okay, we saw that one. This one here is starting to look like it's bouncing a little bit. Boy, the sky looks ominous there. It's ominous there as well. Northbound. So we're looking at a western sky. This is I-49 at US 165. And we are looking to the north. Don't want that one. Here we go. This is the one we want. Okay, we're watching the very storm right over here on the left. This is the storm we've been watching on radar. Here it is in real time. I-49, we're looking north. Left would be west. This is the direction the storm's moving in. So we're going to see some activity here soon. You might see a tornado on a highway cam here. I'm hoping not, but I'm just saying conditions are favorable. Over here's the east, okay? And you can kind of see the sunlight over here on the left, how it's dark. That's because of thicker clouds over here on the left that are building. They're getting taller, they're getting stronger, and you're seeing this in real time. We're looking northbound on I-49. This is in the Pineville area in Louisiana, and you're seeing the storm over here in real time move in from the west. So we're going to watch this one for a moment. You're going to see some activity here soon. You could probably see sideways rain. We'll probably start to see this camera start bouncing. Could see debris. Just all depends on what unfolds in this area. Let's take a look at the radar. Yeah, we're right in the middle of the storm activity. Pineville. I'm trying to find Pineville. Pineville is in this area. And there's the camera. There's the storm. Okay, so the storm is moving in. It's moving in very quickly. It's already now encompassed half the screen. It was just over here about a third of the way across. Going to see some activity here, guys. So stick around. It's going to start getting interesting here. See the street lights on. Got people with their headlights on. This is real time. You're going to see some action here. It's 9:38 a.m. Just starting to sprinkle. You can see some mist behind these cars. Hasn't started raining heavily here yet, but it will. You can see the storm starting to move in from the left. You're looking at real-time footage of these severe storms rolling in, so stick around. It's going to get interesting right here. This is an area that we've been looking for. Okay, Samantha, Alexandria, you're on the edge of the storms. I'll show you Alexandria here in just a moment. You're going to start seeing severe weather later on this morning. I know it's 9:39 in your area. By 10:39, 11 o'clock, the storms will be in the Alexandria area. Yeah, we're going to see some action here, guys. These storms are moving. You can see it's starting to get darker over here on the left. That's west. We're looking north. East is over here on the right. You can still see a little bit of daylight, but it's getting darker on the left. Don't be surprised if you see a tornado scurrying across the screen here. It wouldn't surprise me at all. This area is very high tornado probabilities today. Absolutely. Oh, you just saw that big lightning strike? Did you see that? Here it comes. Here it comes. All right, we are in the Alexandria area. In fact, this camera I thought was in the southern part of Louisiana. This is near Alexandria. So, Samantha, the storms are pretty much in your area right now. Here we go. Yeah, they're moving in. They're moving across this screen from left to right. That would be west to east. We are looking north, and you can clearly see the street lights are on. They are thinking it's nighttime. It's getting dark there. You can see the rain starting to go a little bit sideways across the field of view of this camera. Yeah, this is the Alexandria area. So Pineville is just north and east of Alexandria. Alexandria is over here on the left. Yeah, that's where we're at. We're in the Alexandria area. So Samantha, get ready. The storms are coming. You can see the camera starting to bounce. That means high winds. I thought we were further south at first. We are in the Alexandria area right now. There are severe thunderstorms. You can see the camera starting to bounce. Severe thunderstorms. No tornadoes at the moment, okay? But you are directly in the path of a squall line of very strong thunderstorms. You're not under a severe thunderstorm warning. You're not under a tornado warning, okay? But these storms are very strong, and they're capable of producing very high winds. They're capable of producing tornadoes and, of course, large hail. So you're going to see the winds pick up here in a minute. You're already seeing the winds pick up. You can see the cars and trucks with their headlights on. That's fixing to get busy here, guys. This is a, you know, for those of you that are in the area, you have a safe place. Have a safe place. I know all of you do, but have a safe place. You're looking at a squall line moving through this area here that, you know, is going to be intense for a few minutes, but they're moving very fast. Let's see which direction they're moving. They're moving to the northeast, but you're in the center of the squall. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to last a few minutes. Yeah, this is going through the areas of Alexandria, Boyce, Woodworth, Glenmora, Pollock. Probably see some more lightning on this camera. Got a good perspective of and see how fast it's moving. There was daylight over here on the right-hand side of this camera. Now it's all pretty much like a darker setting. You know, we've been watching this for over 5 minutes now. It's starting to rain a little harder. The camera's starting to move up and down. That's from the high winds, gusty winds. You're going to see at least straight line winds in this area, possibly, not through the entire area. Right now, there are no storm warnings, official storm warnings in that area. This is moving north at 66 knots. Wow. So yeah, it's coming. It's starting to rain over on the left. You can see things starting to disappear. That's because of the rain. The rain's moving in, causing our field of view to shrink. Yes, sir. So here's a good view of what the people of Louisiana are going to be dealing with today. You can see the rain coming in. It kind of reminds me of a hurricane moving in. You can see the rain taking over the left-hand side of the field of view. Heavy rain moving in the Alexandria area, looking towards Pineville. The street lights are on, people using their headlights. Very thick cloud cover. There's some more lightning right there. The camera's starting to bounce. Yeah, it's moving up and down now more than it has. More lightning. Have a safe place if you're in the Alexandria area, for sure. Alexandria, Pineville. Look at that! Look at that thing move! Look at that! Here it comes. Boyce, if you're in those areas. Woodworth. Again, we're in central Louisiana. You can see the winds starting to pick up. Rain moving sideways. In fact, our field of view is diminishing by the second. Look at the heavy rains engulfing the area there. This is Alexandria. You guys are in the middle of a very strong squall line. Very strong. No tornadoes, though. I haven't seen any tornadoes. I'm watching on my handheld device. I have the same app on my handheld device. So I don't see any tornadoes. I don't see any hook echoes. So as far as tornadoes go, according to this app, you guys are in pretty good shape. This is a severe thunderstorm, heavy thunderstorm, which is something I'm sure all of you have experienced before. I know I have. I used to live in Tornado Alley years ago. A lot of lightning associated with this storm, but you can see our field of view obviously diminishing as the storm's rolling in, and it's right consistent with the radar. I have this on my handheld. I'm watching it right now. Pineville was on the edge of this system, and it is now also heavily engulfed in these strong rain bands. Now this is looking north on I-49, northbound, and our field of view has diminished considerably since we started following this about 10 minutes ago. But so far, so good. I do not see any tornadoes in this area. And the thing about it is, when it's raining heavy like this, if there were tornadoes in the area, they're very hard to see because they would become rain wrapped. But you would see tornado signatures on the radar that I'm looking at right now, and there's none. You're just in a heavy band of showers and lightning, gusty winds, possibly some hail. I wouldn't be surprised if some of this area sees hail. You're in the Alexandria, Woodworth, Forest Hill. DeRitter, seeing some activity right now. See the camera move? Look at that. This is just the beginning. Looks like a hurricane making landfall. That's what it looked like during, who was it, Ida? We were on a bridge watching Ida. Of course, the winds were much more extreme, but you can tell this here is a strong thunderstorm moving through the area. Basically turned day into at least evening. It's not pitch black, but it's dark enough to, the vehicles have their headlights on. The highway lights are on. Now the camera's starting to bounce a little bit more consistently. And this is going to last for a minute, guys. This is a long line of strong thunderstorms. This is the leading edge, and they're moving from southwest to northeast. So you're going to be in this for a little while. Whoa, did you see that? So even though they're moving rather quickly, you're at an angle to where you're going to be in the storms for a while. Pretty good while. We're seeing lightning on here. We're seeing sideways rain. Obviously signs of wind as the camera is bouncing. This is in the Alexandria area of Louisiana, which is right in the middle of Louisiana. And this is all moving through Louisiana. It's moving into Mississippi, or it will move into Mississippi later on, probably by lunchtime, I would say. And it looks like the camera is having a technical difficulty. Let's go to this one here and see what it's doing. Should be in the same area. Yep. Let's go to this one here, show video. Yep, see the cameras are struggling because of the storm. May have taken a lightning strike, I don't know. Let's sit here for a minute, try to refresh, but at 9:52:14 it stopped working. And they are right in the middle of a strong line of thunderstorms, long line that extends from well north of Alexandria up to Monroe, all the way down to Lake Charles. And these could have lost power. I don't know. You go to this one here. So can't get on that one. Can't get on that one. And that one is also not working. I didn't want to get off of that one. Okay, well, let's try another one since we're in the area here. In the area of Alexandria. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it'll work. Yes, it is working. And you can look at the rain falling off the side of this overpass. Are you serious? Get a load of that. That just tells you how heavy the rain is. Looks like Niagara Falls. Wow. Look at that. Incredible. Look at that water rushing off the overpass. Again, same area. We're in the Alexandria area, and there are strong storms moving through that area right now. All these storms are moving north, northeast. Now, these are still working, at least for the time being. Look at the water pouring off the side of that overpass. That tells you that's a good at least inch per hour rate. Let's see if we can find another one here in this area that works. That's the only thing when these storms get cranked up. Sometimes the cameras do not work. You can see these roads are starting to take on a lot of water. I don't know if this over here on the left is a parking lot or it looks like water, but maybe not. You can see it's raining pretty hard in that area. Let's go back to that one camera, see if it's working. Let's show this one here. Okay, northbound. Okay, this is a slightly different view, but same area, same general area. We're looking north. The storm's moving across the screen from left to right. Left would be west. Right would be east. You're looking to the north. Okay, so this is a pretty good view of the storms as they're moving kind of from the southwest to the northeast. So you can see lightning here. You know, if there were a tornado, hopefully not, but you got a pretty good view of the sky, even though it's rain-filled right now, as it should be. So there's very heavy rain in the area. Camera's not bouncing a whole lot. Okay, I've got to do a tornado update, guys, because we're seeing tornadoes now north of Lake Charles and east of DeQuincy. So let's go back to our radar. And here is the radar. There's DeRidder, there's DeQuincy, and here's Lake Charles. We got to stay on top of this. All right, they are showing tornado activity. Not seeing any hook echoes. Could be right in here south and east of DeQuincy and north of Lake Charles. So once again, yeah, tornado activity in this area, guys. Possible tornado activity. Show you where. Right in here. This area here. They're seeing tornadoes north of Lake Charles, north of DeQuincy, north and slightly east of DeQuincy, and that would be south of DeRidder. There are tornado vortex signatures in this area. Right in through here. It's going to be an ongoing issue today with regard to tornadoes. Ongoing all day long. Boy, those are strong storms. Look at the bow. Look at the bow echo there. Wow. So once again, tornadoes, or at least tornado vortex signatures in the north Lake Charles area, north of Lake Charles, right up in here between DeQuincy and DeRidder. And then north, yeah, actually north of Moss Bluff, right in here. This is not confirmed. There has not been a confirmed tornado on the ground, but there is a TVS in this area here, tornado vortex signature. And then right up in the DeRidder area, between DeRidder and DeQuincy, right in this area here. And it's because of this bow right there. You're seeing a bow that could indicate tornadic activity. You know what? Let's just look. You want to look? Let's do it. There you go. I don't see anything on here. What you would see is a bright green signature, okay? Bright green, almost fluorescent green, and it's not there. So the radar is indicating, you know, a slight bow right in there, but everything's moving so quickly, it doesn't look like a tornado in the air. Boy, it's pouring here now. Back to the webcam in Alexandria. Look at the rain coming down, the wind. Look at it. Look at the rain blowing across the highway. Look at that. Wow. Camera bouncing. I don't know how long this camera is going to stick around. Kind of reminds you of a hurricane making landfall. It's like you're inside of a wash machine. You can see the rain blowing across the highways. A lot of rain coming down in that area. This camera's up in the Alexandria, Pineville area, north of Woodworth. We're looking to the north. Again, we are in central Louisiana, looking north. West is to the left. East is to the right. Almost looks like evening time, right? With street lights on, all the vehicles have their lights on. No tornadoes in the area at the moment. Hopefully there won't be any, but these storms are growing in size. I can tell by the satellite presentation. These are getting stronger, and that's because of the afternoon, the daytime sun. Not afternoon yet, it's still late morning, but the sun will give the storms strength. Thank you, Jason McCormick. How are you doing today? Storms in this area here that we are currently looking at. This is a view of the Alexandria area. These storms, just to kind of give you an idea, have had a history of producing half-inch hail and are moving to the northeast at 45 knots. Yeah, around 40 miles an hour or so. So these aren't moving quite as fast as some other storms that we've seen. We've seen some storms moving as much as 65 knots. Look at the rain blowing across the highway. It reminds me of a hurricane landfall. Obviously, it's not, but that's just what it looks like. I've seen a lot of hurricane landfalls, and that rain just kind of goes across the roadways in sheets. You can see it just skimming across the top of the roads. That one overpass, look at the camera bouncing around, so you can tell the winds are gusty. In the Alexandria area, that's where we're at. We're in central Louisiana right now. That's where we're at. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. That clock is not correct. That clock says 3:02 p.m. The date is correct. The time is not. That is right now, though. That's a live view of central Louisiana and the Alexandria area. And you guys are going to be in the storms for an extended period of time, because the storms are moving at an angle across Louisiana from southwest to northeast, right across Alexandria. And you're going to be in the storms for a long time, probably a few hours. Even though they're moving very quickly, they're evolving in your area as well. So as they move, they are also evolving, becoming larger and a little bit stronger. So Just use common sense. Have a plan, just in case there's tornado warnings in your area. That's anywhere in Louisiana right now. We're in central Louisiana, watching this big squall line move through. It's a long line of very strong thunderstorms. Common sense. Stay away from interior rooms with glass. This is the Alexandria area. Raining pretty heavily there. Show you guys a screen grab of the southwestern part of Louisiana. What's going on right now. This is a different app that I use. We're looking at the Alexandria area, which is in central Louisiana. We're starting to see in southern Louisiana this. Okay, let me show you real quick. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is what we're seeing in the southern Louisiana area. This is right now, and you can see the tornado icons. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a tornado on the ground, okay? This is showing us that there's a tornado vortex signature that was located on radar in this storm system. Again, that's moving to the northeast, and you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right now. 3 on the west side of Reeves. Again, these are not confirmed tornadoes. That means that, again, this atmosphere that we've been watching for a week that did develop. Sometimes a week-long forecast, the atmospheric conditions change because the weather is in a constant state of change. But you can see here what we're dealing with, or you guys could be dealing with in Louisiana, Mississippi. That's just one example. These have not touched down yet, but there are TVS's tornado vortex signatures in that area. Going back to the Alexandria area, and you can see that these cameras are doing their best. They're trying to stay online, but they're in the middle of a hardcore thunderstorm. And they're not wanting to stay online. Let's go to a different view and see if that helps. There you go. There's a wide field of view. I'm not sure what direction we're looking. This is western Alexandria. And you kind of get a feel for what's going on. Heavy rain, wind blowing, the camera bouncing, rain accumulating on the roadways. You can see a big overspray from the tires of the vehicles. It's dark. I mean, you can see lights on. This is in the Alexandria area. US 71 at LA 28. It's Monroe Street. I would say that that's, I don't know, possibly looking north. I'm not sure. Northwest. (10:08 a.m.) and that clock right there is correct. Nothing super ominous, but you do have a good view of the skyline. And, you know, one thing that, you know, you naturally look for is a tornado. You would definitely see a tornado in this field of view if there was a tornado in this area. It'd be a little tough to see right now because of the rain. But right now there are no tornadoes in this area. We're in the Alexandria area. but I'll let you know if there is. You bet. I'll let you know exactly where it's going. One of these overpasses looked like Niagara Falls earlier. Very heavy rain accumulating on the roads, but it was draining off of the bridge, the overpass. See rain accumulating here. It's going to accumulate more. There's more rain coming. Absolutely. It's in the Alexandria area. A little more water here. Let's see water right there in the middle of the road. There you go. See the signs moving here? Look. So there's some heavy winds in this location. High winds, heavy rain. Just kind of bouncing around, looking at different cameras. These do not. Oh, this one does. More wind here, where the mounting bracket's looser than the other ones. Look at this one bouncing. See the water blowing off the side of the overpass. At times, not all the time, but it looks like a hurricane landfall. Just kind of overwhelms the sky with heavy rain. You know, so far so good. No tornadoes in this area, which is a good thing. We don't want tornadoes, but if they're there, we're going to find them. Yes, we are. I think this one here had the water gushing off the side, right? Yeah, still does. Look at that. No, the drainage system works. That's good. Looks like Niagara Falls. This is in the Alexandria area. Heavy rains, no tornadoes. Again, no tornadoes in the area. Do have a tornado warning to talk about, though. In the Oakdale, Turkey Creek, Glenmora area. Tornado warning. I'll take you to the map. So they have put up a tornado warning. I want to show you guys the location of that tornado warning just in case. Glenmora. Oh, there it is, right there. Tornado warning. Here we go. National Weather Service out of Lake Charles. Glenmora, Elizabeth, Oakdale. This was issued at 10:09 until 10:30 a.m. That's again because these storms are moving so fast. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Elizabeth, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Source radar indicated rotation. Impact flying debris, rooftops. Again, they emphasize windows. This is a dangerous storm and will be near Oakdale around 10:15, Glenmora and Turkey Creek around 10:30. So if you're in Oakdale, it's there. If you're in Glenmora, Turkey Creek, it'll be there in 14 minutes. Again, radar indicated a possible tornado. Not necessarily one on the ground. But again, all this energy is moving fairly quickly, and it's evolving as it's moving. That's the thing. It's not like it's moving and it's gone. This is like a perpetual type of a situation here. It's evolving as it's moving. This is south of Alexandria, and we're watching in the area of Alexandria. We're watching some webcam activity up there. Shreveport's on the edge of the storm right now. This is all of central Louisiana. There's Monroe, Columbia, Jonesboro, Boyce, Simpson. You guys are all in the middle of a very strong storm system, right now. Going back to the camera, you can see the rain is just pouring off the sides of this roadway. So that indicates very heavy rain in the Alexandria area. This is LA1, Bolton Avenue. Don't have any other specifics other than that the time is correct. I don't think I can find any webcams down in the tornado warned area. I can look. Let me see here. No, any major thoroughfares there. Severe thunderstorm warning south and east of Monroe. That includes Rayville, Delhi, Mangum, Winsboro, and Wisner. We do have a tornado warning right now, and if you're in the areas of Glenmora, they're advising that there's a possible tornado headed your way. Glenmora. Once again, the specifics, it expires in 12 minutes because it's moving so quickly. Interior room with no glass. And they're saying other locations impacted by this tornadic. This is a tornadic thunderstorm, include McNary and Forest Hill. This dangerous storm will be near Glenmora and Turkey Creek around 10:30. So let's zoom in on the Glenmora area. There's Forest Hill. I see. Okay, there's a big bow right there. Right there is what they're looking at. Yeah, right there. Okay, so Glenmora, you guys may want to strongly consider an interior room with no glass. Basement if you have one. If not, interior room with no glass, at least until this passes. They're saying that this is a tornadic storm. No confirmations of any tornadoes on the ground right now, but there's McNary just north of Glenmora, right there. I think they're looking at this right there. There's see that hook signature? That could be a tornado, or at least that's what they're implying. That right? There, that hook signature. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's on the ground. It means there's a strong possibility that there's a tornadic signature in that area that could produce a tornado. Back to Alexandria. Rain still coming down and will continue to come down for quite some time. Don't know exactly how long because this is an evolving storm situation, evolving thunderstorms that are evolving stronger and stronger as we move forward in time. It's 8:20 here. It's 10:20 in Louisiana. And it's going to continue to evolve all day long. Atmospheric conditions are more than prime for tornadoes. That's why the forecast, they were so confident in the forecast, because I was watching the same thing, and I'll show you what I was watching. I was watching what's called the Cape Index. I can't pull it up right now because we're over here, but the Cape Index, it shows you conditions where there could be frontal boundaries, okay? And where a frontal boundary meets a cold boundary, it can create atmospheric instability. And that atmospheric instability, like you're seeing right here, can produce tornadoes, large hail, high winds, and of course heavy rains. This has been here all week long. The forecast models were right. They were correct with the infusion of the Gulf moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, combining with the cold front, the warm front. That boundary, which you see right here, is creating perpetual severe weather, and it's evolving, getting stronger right now as I do this video. You can't see it here because I don't have water vapor on, but this is always known for its humid conditions, always very humid, wet, and that's because of the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico always, sometimes more than others, is bringing in warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico. So that's why you see an abundance of rain down here at times. And especially when that warm, moist air collides, especially with the lower level jet stream, when it collides with upper level, cold air, well, this is what you have. It's a recipe for vortexes and tornadoes. So once again, Glenmora, McNary, I think it was. Yeah, McNary, Forest Hill. You're going to see a hook, see right there? It's looks like to me it's staying to the north and west, at least for the time being. But again, this was a radar TVS. TVS is a tornado vortex signature. You can see a strong bow right there. See that right there? There's some strong high winds right there. That's a classic signature for straight line winds right there. But back down here where the tornado activity potentially could be, about another 8 minutes, and you should be in the clear, according to the reports from the National Weather Service. Going up here to Alexandria, we've been watching some webcams up here in the Alexandria area. They are right here. Still raining. That's going to rain for a while, as you can see according to the radar. See all the rain that's moving into the Alexandria area? And it's going to be around for a while. It's not going anywhere. In fact, it's going to get stronger. Here's Alexandria. Here's the tornado storm that's moving towards Alexandria. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. They're going to update this here in just a few minutes, because this expires in 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes. Once it expires, they'll update it. And this storm is moving in the direction of Alexandria. So don't be surprised, and we're going to keep a close eye on this. Don't be surprised if this little red corral doesn't get moved up into the Alexandria area, as again, this is still evolving. It could take this tornado activity, or at least radar indicated tornado activity, up to Alexandria. So this is going to update here in just a few minutes, so we're going to keep a close eye on that, okay? We'll come back and check it out. Back to Alexandria. Water not coming off the side of this overpass quite as profusely. That tells us that the rain has let up, at least in this area, for the time being. Let's go check some other cameras, see what's going on a little farther south of town. Same thing here. But we've got a good view of that skyline. That's what I was looking for. You can see a little better now, actually. Still raining off in the distance. That's why our depth perception is a little bit impeded here, because of the rain off in the distance. You can see back here there's heavier rain. But if a tornado were to go through here now, we would definitely be able to see it. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on this one. And this is at 28 US 71, right down here. So we'll come back to that area, okay? because this area could see tornadic, at least tornado warnings, watches here in the next 10 minutes. We're waiting on an update from the National Weather Service. You can start to see water accumulating here in the median. Ooh, a lot of water here. What's going on here? US 71, Lee Street, Horseshoe Drive. Again, this is in the Alexandria area. This water standing in the middle. Okay, US 71 at Sugar House. And you've got a decent view of the skyline here. And that's mainly what I'm looking for here. When I'm moving around looking at these cameras, that's what I'm looking for. And this is northbound, so the storms are coming in from over here. Okay, they're moving in this direction. So if a tornado were to go through this area, you would see it right here. That's why we're looking. That's why we're looking at these cameras. We've all seen rain, we've all seen wind. We're looking for tornadoes. Hopefully we won't see any, but if we do, this would be an excellent, tool to warn people in the area. Hey man, we're looking at a tornado on a webcam. Take cover. And have a plan. Again, it's common sense. You guys are all very smart people. If there's flying projectiles outside, then you want to stay away from anything that a projectile could penetrate, which would obviously be a glass window. Go into a room where there's no glass windows. Stay away from the exterior walls because the interior walls will give you an added layer of defense against a possible tornado. Interior room, like a bathroom, for instance, with no exterior windows. Shut the door and hunker down. I mean, if it's a major situation to where there's a tornado coming your way, and let's say it's a big wedge tornado, and there's no way, you have no other options but to go to an interior room. Grab a mattress and take a mattress in there with you, a small one, something that you can cover your head. That's all. And get in that interior room. And that would be under extreme conditions, but you have to think quick. It's better to go ahead and have these things planned out ahead of time instead of trying to do these things when you're in a panic state, because you don't think as well when you're panicked and under stress. Think these through before it happens, and you'll have a much better outcome. Think it through before it happens. Be prepared, in other words. Okay, we're still... Ooh, there we go. Is that real time? Ooh, wow. It's already moved in. Oh, that's the one we were looking at earlier. Pineville, Alexandria. Okay. Yeah, you can see the storm has really impeded the camera's view. Still very dark there. In fact, it's darker than what it was. See, these storms are going to last a while in the Alexandria area because the storms are moving at an angle, and Alexandria is in that angle. It's going to stay that way for quite some time. An hour, a good hour and a half. Off and on all day long, though. All day long. And these storms are going to be moving from west to east over into Mississippi. Could be even stronger over in Mississippi. That's where I saw the twin tornadoes a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe in early 2020. Quite possibly 2019. But there were twin tornadoes that went through central Mississippi. I saw them on radar, watched them on radar. Saw debris on radar. Actually, at the tops of the echo signatures, you can see debris on radar. Oh, it was unbelievable. So you knew that those were very powerful storms. You just knew it. Speaking of storms, let's go back and look at the situation down here. Okay, so they did not move the tornado warning up into the Alexandria area. Glen Mora. This area is no longer under a tornado warning. This entire area, as you can clearly see from the huge rectangle that's just dominating this map here, that entire area is a tornado watch that's in effect for the next 3 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, and then all of this energy will primarily be out of this area, and they'll probably move this entire red corral, this red rectangle, right over here. So this will probably move over here into the central Mississippi area, which will include Vicksburg, Jackson, Carthage, Yazoo City, Philadelphia. It's where all this energy is moving, and it's going to gain momentum this afternoon with the daytime heating. The daytime heating, typically when conditions are like this, just makes them stronger because you got more heat tangling with the colder air. Okay, so the intense heat is gonna not the intense heat, but the warmer the warm boundary, it's going to put up more resistance against cold boundary, and the side effect is severe weather. It's not rocket science. It's just common sense. Okay, showing we're watching the rain in Alexandria. Rain, absolutely. No tornadoes though, so good deal. They did not move that, at least for now. No tornado warnings or watches. Oh, watch. This whole area is under a watch. But no tornadoes right now in the Alexandria area. You can see it's raining hard once again, completely overwhelming this camera to where we can't get a perspective of what's going on at all other than it's raining. So it's raining harder, and the wind has changed direction, blowing the rain directly at the camera. What's going on here? Having downpours in Alexandria. Let's go to a different location. Let's go here. Water's still piling up. Not raining as hard there. That's what we were just looking at. Okay, let's check out another one. Got a good view of the skyline here. I'm going to keep it here for just a second because this is right in the path of the severe weather that's moving into this area. I mean, they've had severe weather with regard to heavy rain and some high winds at times, but that tornadic storm that had the TVS's in it is going to go through this area right here. In fact, let me check it out, make sure that actually right in here. In here and here. And yeah, right in this area here. We've got a good view of the sky on this one. So let's watch this one for a moment and see. We can see much at all. Yeah, we can see pretty decent here. We've got a fairly good view of the skyline. Not that great though. If there was a tornado back there, you wouldn't be able to see it because it would be so rain wrapped. Let's see what this one is showing in the Lake Charles area. See how cold the cloud tops are. Still looks dark in Lake Charles. Look at that. Still looks dark in Lake Charles. What's it look like in Beaumont? That is exactly, see this, that's a classic. Look, see the boundary there? Talk about a photogenic storm right through there. That is an amazing shelf cloud right through there. Just north of Houston, Cleveland, Lufkin. Yeah, that's a very photogenic storm. don't understand what's going on here. Probably doesn't work. Nope, doesn't work. Back to Louisiana, right in the middle of Alexandria. And it looks like the rain is letting up some. Could be just an in-between, you know, in-between storm type situation. This one here, I think the wind was blowing the rain directly into the camera, making it a little difficult to see. Yeah, oh, you can see lightning there. Watch this one for a second. See if they update this area for any tornado warnings or watches. The whole area is under a watch, but for the next 3.5 hours. But the tornado warnings, that system is getting close to the Alexandria area. That was a little further south about 20 minutes ago. So we'll see. Keep an eye on this area. Ooh, did you see that lightning strike? Wow. Don't see those very often on here. That was right in the field of view. Our field of view is obviously limited. So for, you know, a tornado or even lightning to show up in the field of view is kind of rare. Not that one. That one made contact with something on the ground. We'll keep it right here. There's some more lightning. A lot of lightning associated with these storms, and there's only going to be more to come. Storms are going to get stronger with the daytime heating, and that hasn't arrived yet. So this is in the Alexandria area. We're in central Louisiana. We're looking north. Storms are moving in from the left-hand side of the screen, and they're moving across the screen towards the upper right-hand side of the screen. So that would be southwest to northeast. And this is in the middle of a very long line of collective thunderstorms that are evolving into stronger and stronger storms that will be tornadic at some point throughout the day into tonight. Just don't know where, but the energy and the mechanics are in place for tornadic activity in these areas. There's more than enough energy to create tornadoes. So, you know, don't let your guard down all day long. And the thing is, during the nighttime hours, when it gets dark, you know, you have to rely totally on radar. You know, you can't see the storms. You can see lightning. It's about it. Maybe rain if it's right in your area. But boy, it's just such a disadvantage, you know, in severe thunderstorms, especially tornadic storms at night. And this is going to continue into the nighttime hours, well after dinner time, all the way up till midnight tonight, maybe beyond. So this is just getting started. I'll look out for you guys best I can. Let's go back to the map. Oh, we got a new update. Okay. Same general area, basically. Didn't move any farther north. New tornado warning, guys. This would be south of the area. So this area here is starting to become more and more tornadic active. A tornado warning. Okay, they just issued this, so there's no text available. Let me try it again. Yeah, they're still working on the details. But here we go. Tornado warning. The areas in the red corral is what I call it. Red, it's not a rectangle, it's a corral, basically. Oakdale, Pine Prairie, and Turkey Creek. And this is all in Louisiana. And this would be between Lake Charles and Alexandria. This is where we're at. And you guys are under a tornado warning for the next 20 minutes. That would be east of Elizabeth, north and east of Lake Charles, and then Alexandria is right up right here. So we're between Lake Charles and Alexandria as crow flies, right there. Tornado warning. This whole area is under a tornado watch. And you can see how the storms just keep just producing and reproducing and producing and reproducing. I mean, there's a lot of atmospheric instability. Okay, they've made this a little smaller now. And what this is basically radar is showing a tornado signature. There hasn't necessarily been one confirmed on the ground. So we're probably going to see a lot of this. It doesn't mean one can't touch the ground. That's why they issue these warnings, because there's the potential for it to touch the ground. So let's see if they've updated the... no, not yet. I mean, this is in a constant state of change, so they could no longer probably get it updated, and it changed again. So I'm trying to see what they're looking at here. They're seeing something on radar that's showing... a hook echo. I don't see one. It's difficult to read it in this format. We'll come back to it, though. Back to the camera. Back to Pineville. Looking at Pineville from Alexandria. We're looking north. See the rain is still very heavy. Looks like the wind is pushing to the south. That's why it's all over the camera. And you can see lightning still in the area. Saw a lightning strike right there earlier. Looked like it made contact with the ground. A little bit of wind. I've seen cameras bouncing furiously during a hurricane landfall. So this is actually pretty mild compared to what we've seen before. We've seen cameras literally look like they were going to come off their mounts. I thought it was at one time, or actually a couple of times. It was bouncing so much, but it stayed intact, and it actually stayed working. That even surprised me even more. It was during a full-blown Category 4 hurricane landfall. That was last year? Yeah, last year. It was in southern Louisiana near Lake Charles. This area we're looking at here is in Alexandria in the central Louisiana. It is not under a tornado warning. It is under a tornado watch. Conditions are favorable for tornadoes, but there are no tornadoes in this area at the time being. Just what you see. Dark skies due to the extreme thick clouds that are getting thicker. They're getting taller, so it's going to get darker. In fact, you can see it getting darker over here to the left. See? Getting darker. Those clouds are getting taller. The taller they get, the darker it's going to get. When they reach the 60,000 foot range, anything's possible. Large hail, very high winds. The VIL is going to be more profound because it's a bigger storm. So you could have heavier rains. And then, of course, tornadoes. So these are getting taller. Just know that the darker it gets, your clouds are getting taller, and it's just a very simple deduction. They're taller and they're blocking more sunlight. Thinner, shorter clouds don't block as much sunlight. Taller the cloud, less the light. Again, it's not rocket science. Got something going on over here. What's going on? Go off the road. Let's go back to the map. Maybe there's something going on in the area. Let's see. Oh, they got a flood warning now. Okay, so we're getting some updates from the National Weather Service. This does include Alexandria, because that's that training effect. See, the storms are moving from southwest to northeast, and Alexandria is right in the middle of all of these strong thunderstorms, going to be for several hours probably. So now they've issued probably a flash flood warning. And guys, this expires in 3 hours, so that's about how long you're going to see this heavy rain in your area till after lunch. Let's see what it says. If anything, maybe they haven't got this updated yet either. Nope, not yet. They just put this up, so it'll take them a minute to come out with what the text. But I totally get it because of the direction this is moving. Some of these larger towns are going to be in persistent rainfall for several hours. So that's going to, again, equate to rain piling up and creating flash floods. And this is under a, so it says, flash flood warning for the next basically 3 hours. And that extends from Reeves, right down here on the edge, over to DeRidder, up to and including Alexandria, Ball, of course, Pineville, DeVille, all of this area you see here in the green. Flash flood warning from now until, let's see, 9, what time is it there? Almost 11, so about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And you can totally tell by looking at this cam that is not working now, and I'm not surprised. Some of these cameras do really good during storms, surprisingly. And then others, don't do so good. This one's done pretty good, all in all. It really has. It's done pretty good. We'll hop up to another one and see what's going on here. See, we got a decent view of the sky. This, again, is still in the Alexandria area that is now in a flash flood warning according to the National Weather Service. This area is under a flash flood warning for the next 3 hours. This is looking north, so again, the storms are moving sideways across the screen in a sense, southwest over here to northeast over here. We're looking to the north, west, and east. This is an overpass, no flooding issues here. More of a series of overpasses. Let's take a look at the video. Shouldn't see any flooding issues here. I mean, possibly in the medians, but not on the roads. Could see some flooding here. So lower level view. Again, we're in the Alexandria. Saw some lightning there. Alexandria area. Go down here to southern Alexandria. We can find one that works. Yeah, this one works. This one would possibly show some flooding, but maybe not. Keeping an eye on those skies. That's what we're looking for, mainly. We're trying to watch for tornadoes. It's happened. There was a storm system that went through Iowa a few weeks ago. There were 40 tornadoes. There was an outbreak in Iowa. And I wasn't recording at the time. I was just simply observing. And I saw a tornado just briefly on a camera in Iowa. And that was during a recent outbreak of tornadoes about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And conditions then weren't as favorable as they are now for tornadoes. Yeah, I think there was like a 30% chance of tornadoes, and today there's I think around a 70% chance of tornadoes. And that day was 30. There we go. Kind of look at the flooding situation. There's no flooding right now, but they're under, this area here is under a flash flood warning because of the rainfall rates and the direction of the storm. It's going to create a training effect over places like Alexandria and all the communities in the Alexandria area that are in the path of these thunderstorms. It's going to rain for probably the next 3 hours, pretty much nonstop, sometimes heavier than others. But you're going to see a lot of rainfall in this area here. This is Alexandria, Pineville. Let's go down. The map hasn't been cooperating, so I couldn't find cameras. Maybe we can find some down here. Let's just take a look and see. We can always go back. Okay, here we go. I'm not sure where we are. Where are we at here? I-10. Okay, let's see what it's showing. And it looks pretty dry there. Okay. Let's show the video. What do we got going on? Oh, you can see wind here. Look at that. Holy mackerel. Are you serious? Oh, that is wild. Look at that thing bounce. Okay, traffic closest to the camera, that's what we're looking at here, is traveling westbound. So that means we're looking traveling west, so we're looking east. Get a load of that, man. Look at that camera. It's 10:50 a.m. local time. That's correct. So the date and time are right. What is going on? Oh, wow. Okay. Let's look at this one, see if it's bouncing. No, well, maybe it's the mount. You know, the mount could be broken. I mean, I'm sure it's windy in these areas, but see the map, it's not updating, so I don't know exactly where we are here. We're still in Louisiana, let's put it that way. We're more in the south central part of Louisiana. This is down around the I-10. A lot of traffic here. Oh, there's a, uh-oh. Something going on here, guys. Yeah, there's something going on here, I think. It's difficult to tell. Maybe not. I don't know. It looks like something down here in the median. And the traffic is moving very slow through here. This is I-10. It's like an eastbound I-10. The traffic coming to us is westbound. Very windy. But it almost looks like something down here in the median. I don't know. I don't see any type of rescue vehicle, so maybe not, but it does look like something there. And the traffic's moving very slowly through here. Not sure. Not sure at all what's going on. I don't know. Very windy here. You can see that sign back there blowing around. Very windy in this area. We'll come back. Oh, here we go. It shows us where we're at. Okay, that's Alexandria. We're still in Louisiana. Now we'll go down to the southern Louisiana area. It's along the I-10 corridor. Right now, things down there aren't quite as intense as they are up in the north central part of Louisiana. But it's coming that way. Let's go over here. I think this is more over by the... Okay, that's Texas. This is Louisiana. This would be, I believe... See, I can't tell. The map's not showing us any... There we go. I think this is in the Lake Charles area. Let's see. Traveling westbound on I-10 at the I-210. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Lake Charles. Wow, look at that. Pouring. I'll keep it here for a minute. That's some very intense rainfall. We're in the Lake Charles area. We're down on the I-10 corridor. Traffic is moving westbound, so we're looking to the east. That would mean the storm. Wow, it looks like nighttime there. Those are some thick, tall clouds. The taller the clouds, the darker it gets. Wow, almost have zero visibility here. Incredible, but not surprising. Those are some very strong storms. See wind starting to pick up here. Back to the radar. There we go. Let's see if they've updated the details of the flash flood warning. Not yet, but you know, if you're under a flash flood warning, it's going to be a lot of rain. All right, a lot of rain. Now they've extended the. See, got an update here to talk about. They've extended the big red rectangle now to include southern Louisiana, Houma, New Orleans, Slidell, Kentwood, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, all the way up to Columbus and Greenwood, Mississippi. Tornado watch. Get a load of this. Expires in 8 hours. Wow. Here we go. Urgent. Immediate broadcast, National Weather Service Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, 10:40 a.m. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has issued a tornado watch for portions of eastern and southern Louisiana, central and southern Mississippi, and the coastal waters effective this Tuesday morning and evening from 10:40 a.m. That would be local time. That was just 18 minutes ago. Until 7 p.m. tonight. The issues could be severe tornadoes. Several tornadoes. This is from the National Weather Service. They're already predicting several tornadoes. Wow, you don't see that very often. Several tornadoes and a couple of intense tornadoes likely. Widespread damaging winds and isolated significant gusts to 75 miles per hour likely. And that is hurricane force. Isolated large hail events to 1.5 inches in diameter possible. And the summary, a tornado damaging risk will progress east-northeastward, and that was what we're watching right here, into and across additional portions of southern eastern Louisiana, into much of central and southern Mississippi throughout this afternoon. A few strong, intense tornadoes, EF2 plus, are possible, particularly with any semi-discrete supercells that develop to the east of a quasi-linear band of storms. This risk is supported by an increasing moist, unstable, that's what we were talking about earlier, that boundary of unstable air, and the moist air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico in the presence of very strong, deep, low-level wind shear. That's the low-level jet that we were talking about earlier. Okay, and that's what's creating all this. The tornado watch area is approximately along a 70-mile statute 70 statute miles east and west of a line from 35 miles. We're not going to get into all that. You can see it right there, that big red rectangle. And remember, a tornado watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. So there it is, right there, from southern Louisiana over to Baton Rouge and New Iberia, all the way up into Mississippi to the Greenwood, Columbus area, all day, basically for the next 8 hours. And we've still got this one going on that still has 2 hours and 59 minutes to go. So basically 3 hours for the tornado watch, 3 hours for the flood warning, which is right here, all of that area, because they're right in the middle of the very intense thunderstorms that are training through the area, and they're not going to stop. In fact, they're getting stronger. Raining heavy down in the Lake Charles area. See, look at that. Look at that. You can't see anything. This is the I-10 corridor. Okay, so, wow, that's down here. Right down in this area. This is where we're at with regard to this camera. Get a load of how hard it's raining. Wow. It's 11 a.m. local time. And with the decreased visibility, obviously that tells you the rain is coming down harder and the clouds are getting thicker, which means they're getting taller, which means they're going to become more dynamic and they're going to be able to do more, with regard to extreme weather, extreme winds. You got hurricane force winds being forecasted. They haven't even happened yet. And those are just the winds. That's not including tornadoes. Hurricane force, straight line winds. Heavy rain. It's raining in some areas. These storms have a history of producing rain of up to 2 inches per hour. A little over 2 inches per hour, actually. And again, right now we're looking at the I-10 corridor in southern Louisiana. And this extends all the way up into Arkansas. Well, Arkansas is seeing heavy rain, but there's a severe component down here that we're keeping a little closer eye on. Because there could be a tornado outbreak just that quick. The atmosphere is that unstable. I'm surprised, honestly, that there haven't been more this morning, but with the afternoon heating, like that I just read from the National Weather Service, they're definitely anticipating several, they emphasize several tornadoes, and some could be very strong. So just be prepared. Common logic rules, guys. Look at the lights. Looks like nighttime here, right? Are you serious? Look at that. It looks like it's nighttime. We're down here in southern Louisiana. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Sun's almost at peak solar. Another 58 minutes and we'll be at peak high noon. Looks like we're approaching midnight. Wow. Holy cow. Well, it's raining buckets there. Well, thank you, Rosemary Hill. If you're in this area, Rosemary Hill, Mississippi, Louisiana, have a plan, my friend. Because I have a feeling this afternoon is going to be an eventful tornado day, especially in ooh, there's some lightning. Again, where we're at right now, guys, is in southern Louisiana. We're on the I-10 corridor. And the I-10 corridor extends all the way across the southern United States. In fact, it goes all the way over here in Arizona, into Florida. It's a long freeway. but that's where we're at in southern Louisiana along the I-10, where the I-10 meets the I-210. We are looking eastbound. The traffic you see, and you can barely see it coming at you right here, is moving to the west. So that means this back here is the eastern sky. What you can see of it, it's like you're in a sauna, a very large sauna. The traffic over here, have you noticed the traffic over here is pretty much at a standstill? Obviously so, because the wiper blades can't keep up with the rainfall rate. So it's not safe to drive in conditions like this. There's more lightning because you can't see. So it's really best to pull over. That's not even a good idea because oncoming traffic may not see you if you stop. You definitely don't want to stop in the road. Turn your flashers on, but you need to try to think of others, because if you can't see, then obviously other cars that are sharing the road with you can't see either. So, try to stay moving and keep a very safe distance between yourself and any vehicles in front of you. Obviously the vehicle behind you, that's their responsibility to keep their distance away from you. Because if you have to stop suddenly, you could hydroplane. Hydroplaning is when your car comes up off the pavement literally and is sliding on top of a large puddle of water. So you have no control of your vehicle. So you don't want to go that fast. You want to go slow, but yet keep a safe distance between the vehicles in front of you and behind you. And that's what the people are trying to do over here. It's hard, Oh, the lights just went out. Are you serious? They just lost power. How's this camera staying on? What? Look, the power just went out. So this camera will probably be going out soon unless it's solar powered. Look. It's pitch black there. Only lights you see are coming from vehicles. Oh, this is nuts. Unless there was a lightning flash that I didn't see that turned off the sensors to those lights, those big tall lights along the roads that usually come on. They're dusk to dawn lights. Wow. This is an interesting view here. Once again, this is in southern Louisiana along the I-10 corridor, and the street lights went out. They were on in full force because it's obviously dark there. You can see the vehicles have their lights on, and very wisely over here, moving slowly. Yeah, it's for a variety of reasons, but for your safety and everybody's safety, because these roads with the heavy rainfall are accumulating rain. There's going to be unforeseen puddles that you come up on, and you could lose control of your vehicle. So it's a good idea not to travel in conditions like this at all. The safest place to be is at home. But if you have to get out for any reason at all, and you do get caught in one of these storms, slow down. Not too slow where somebody can come up behind you and think you're moving at a high rate of speed. Not being prepared for, you definitely don't sit in the road, but turn your flashers on and just try to keep a slow pace. Be ready, for water standing in the roads. That's also a hazard because you could lose control of your vehicle. It's called hydroplaning. You can see water starting to accumulate right here, here, here. Surprised there's not more. Or this ditch over here. If it continues to fill up with water, then it will start to slowly, take over some of the roadway. And I think it is right here. Now you can see water really coming up behind the vehicles. And it's let up some. Lights are still out, though. I'm surprised. They were shining very bright just about 5 minutes ago. Now you're starting to be able to see traffic way back here. Is that the bridge? Might be the bridge. I'm not sure. I think it is. Okay. Yeah, you can tell the rain's letting up. Again, we're in southern Louisiana along the I-10 corridor. I-10 corridor expands, I don't know, what, a couple thousand miles? Big road, stretches across the southern U.S. I'll check for updates on tornadoes here in just a moment. In fact, we'll check right now. See if we got any updates. Oh, here we go. This is a tornado warning. Wow, it doesn't expire for an hour. Okay, we're still waiting on data on that one. But that is in the Vicksburg area. Okay, so it's already starting to get over into parts of Mississippi. Vicksburg, I believe. Yeah, that's Mississippi. So that would be on the Mississippi-Louisiana line. Monroe. Anyway, you can see right there, tornado warning in that area. That's for the next hour and 3 minutes. Then a severe thunderstorm warning in the same area, but that expires in 33 minutes. Going to be a busy day, guys. Severe thunderstorm warning up here. This would be in the Mississippi area. No details yet. Still waiting on the details. These were just issued a little while ago. Severe thunderstorm warning north of Vicksburg, including Vicksburg. Tornado warning north of Vicksburg. See if there's an update on the flooding. I'm just curious as to how much. Okay, let's just say if it was raining through here at the rate of 2 inches per hour, which is very possible. It's been known to do that. No text available. Okay, I'm surprised that that's not been updated yet. But it'll be interesting to see how much rain accumulates in this area. I would say 4 to 6 inches of rain in a very short period of time. So I would expect that at the very least, flash flooding, which is probably already occurring from Alexandria all the way down to Oakdale and south of Oakdale. See what I mean by the training thunderstorms? They just keep evolving, it's a training effect. But this afternoon, you know, it could get pretty hairy with regard to tornadoes in southeastern Louisiana. One of the many that I used yesterday showed, and it hasn't happened yet. So don't, you know, it's not. It hasn't happened yet. It could. This was the forecast. It was calling for several tornadoes down here in the southeastern part of Louisiana. This was yesterday, though. Forecast can, will, and do change. But right now, you know, the energy's not there, but it is moving in that general direction. And this whole area over here is under a tornado watch right now as I do this video. And yesterday, it did show in this area, including Baton Rouge, north of New Orleans, and including New Orleans, and by Hammond and by Kentwood. Took what's called soundings, and the soundings showed tornadoes in this area, or at least conditions were very favorable for tornadoes in southeastern Louisiana and, of course, southwestern Mississippi and all through south central and west central Mississippi, east central Louisiana, which you can see right now. Things are very active. I'm getting reports of active tornado warnings in Louisiana parishes of Allen and Evangeline. And there's going to be a wide variety of those all day long throughout the entire day. That is a huge area of tornado watch. Look at that. It includes a large portion of Louisiana and a large portion of Mississippi. That's right now. Those are tornado watches, so that just further confirmation that the atmospheric instability is going to dominate today all day long. And when that occurs, just like it occurred up in Iowa, of all places, Iowa saw a derecho a couple years back that was like a land-based hurricane. It was unbelievable, but there were like 30, 40 tornadoes up in Iowa here 3 weeks ago. And, you're going to see the same types of weather conditions possible today. Hasn't occurred yet, but we are seeing some activity. Yeah, that's the bridge. Okay, you couldn't see it earlier because of the heavy rainfall. I'm not exactly sure which bridge this is, but yeah, there's the bridge down in southern Louisiana. The rain has let up some. I don't know if the power went off or if lightning got so bright that it caused these street lights to turn off. Don't know. Camera still works, so there's still power to the camera. See water accumulating along the roadside. And this body of water, don't know. I mean, I don't think that's Lake Pontchartrain. No. That's why I didn't want to get off of it, because it's not showing me all the details of this area like I wanted. I want the details. I want to know where we're at here. All I know is we're in southern Louisiana. There we go. Yeah, by Lake Charles. So that would be going, I guess, across Lake Charles, huh? Okay. Right on. Here we go. Yeah, this bridge goes across Lake Charles. And I believe that is a resort over here on the left. And honestly, it does look like there is no power in this area. In fact, there isn't any power. Hold on a minute. There's no power there. Can we confirm that? What? No power up in Kansas. Okay. There's no power down here in southern Louisiana, according to what we're looking at. It's in Brevard County. See, we're down here in Lake Charles. I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't updated yet, but it doesn't look like to me there's any power on over here. That's a resort, and you don't see any lights on at the resort. You don't see any lights on over here, and there's businesses over here. There's buildings there and there. I don't know. Stay here for a minute or two. I-10 at Calcasser River. Time is correct. Date is correct. And we are looking eastbound. Traffic is moving, the oncoming traffic. No, wait a minute. The traffic closest to this camera is traveling westbound. So this would be closest. So we might be looking in the direction, I think we are, of, yeah, this is the direction of the storm, or storms. That camera's starting to bounce a little bit. Again, we're down by Lake Charles. That's where we're at. Lake Charles, Louisiana. And to me, it looks like the electricity's off over here, right? I don't see any lights on over there at that building or any of these other buildings. The only lights I see are on vehicles. I would say there's a power outage down here. You see the camera starting to bounce. Whoa. It's like a wall of clouds back here, right? You guys see that? Like some sort of a shelf cloud, maybe developing way off here in the distance. Yeah. Quincy, yeah, it's Lake Charles. Get back on that bridge. There we go. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna go grab some water. All right. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Had to get some water. I had to grab a little something to eat. Here's a good look at the visible satellite. You can see the storm system clearly engulfing all of Louisiana, moving into Mississippi and Arkansas. Camera over here from Beaumont, which would be southeastern Texas. Very heavy precipitation there at one time, but it has since cleared out. Let's look at these power outages again. Texas, 50,000. What's going on up in Kansas? The storm's reaching up in there too. Whenever it decides to update. I don't know. Let's see where the power outages are at. Probably eastern Kansas, huh? No? What's going on there? Wow, 10,000 customers in, what would you call it, West Central Kansas? No power? Okay. Not sure why. Okay, we're getting a little bit of wind still down in, those are probably 40-mile-an-hour winds in southern Louisiana. That would be in the Lake Charles area. That's where you're looking at right there. We're going to go back up north to where the activity is at right now, and has been for quite some time in the Alexandria area. We're seeing the energy move over into Mississippi now. Got a tornado warning in Mississippi, north of Vicksburg. There's a two very large areas of tornado watches that will continue for the most of the day and probably extended into this evening, would be my guess. Both these big red rectangles you see are tornado watches, and the smaller red one is a tornado warning. And we're going to switch radars here in just a little bit. We're going to stay here where we're at for now. Starting to dry out some in Alexandria. Let's go back up to that area if we can. And then we'll, let's see, go over to Mississippi eventually. All right. Okay, yeah, that was the I-10 corridor, which is right down here, runs through the Houston area. In fact, it runs all across the South United States. So what we got shaking up here. A lot of water standing around. I don't know if it's still raining or not. We're up, oops, it doesn't work. That one works. No, it does not. Okay. This is in the, it should be Alexandria area, right? Yeah. Yes, indeed. Rain is letting up there, at least for the time being. You're going to have runoff, and the rain will start to accumulate, in creeks and then rivers, obviously. And you'll see overflowing in creeks, and some of it will get onto the roadways. Pretty common after a heavy downpour like this that lasted for the better part of 2 hours. And it's still not done yet. Trying to get a decent perspective of the area. Let's check this one out because we can see the sky over there. Still raining, it's not near as heavy. 11:41. This is, the cars are traveling east, so we're looking west. That's the direction of the storm system that's working its way across central Louisiana over into Mississippi. And here in a minute, I'm going to try to find some possible places to look for the storm over in Mississippi. See if we can't figure that out. Whoop, what happened here? Okay, here's Alexandria. Yeah, the rain's let up considerably in Alexandria. That camera's just soaking wet. Yeah, right on. Conditions are improving in Alexandria, at least for the time being. All right, you guys are looking pretty good. Cool. Is cool. Start watching this area here because storm's moving this direction. No live feeds at this time. This is in Slidell, I believe. Yeah, I-10 at the Slidell Welcome Center. 11:43 a.m. You can see the camera starting to get a little wet, starting to rain there. And the bridge, there should be a bridge here somewhere. Where are we at? We're still in the Slidell area. I-10 corridor, again, stretches across southern United States. And I think this is looking into not sure, maybe Slidell. There's a bridge in this area that I was wanting to take a peek at. I've used it before years ago, a couple years ago. All clear there. That's in southeastern Louisiana. It won't be like that for long. Storms are moving that way. It's in the New Orleans area. Here we go. I was on this bridge during a hurricane landfall a while back, and the camera held up during a Cat 4 landfall. It was across this waterway right here. We'll leave it here for the time being. We'll come back to it in a little bit. I wanted to check on the severe weather. If there's many updates from the National Weather Service. We might switch radars here in a moment. This energy's all moving towards Mississippi. In fact, we're going to go to Mississippi. You ready? Here we go. All right. All right. And you can see things starting to evolve down here in southern Mississippi. That would be southwestern Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana. And where these two storm watches intersect. This is an area of necessarily say an area of concern, but it's an area that needs to be watched closely. By the Natchez area, Clayton, Marksville, this area here could see tornadic activity, in fact, very soon. So just if you're in that area, obviously exercise common sense and have a plan, because there's going to be tornadoes in this area, guys. There already have been, but they're going to increase more than likely as the day moves forward. Just have a plan, that's all. Use common sense, protect yourself, your family, your pets. That's all you can do. Not going to stop it, just have respect and get out of the way. But this area right here, I saw a lot of potential of tornado activity down here around Natchez, Clayton, St. Joseph, Faraday. Don't be surprised if a tornado or tornado warning shows up in this area sometime within the next hour. Wouldn't be surprised at all. And you're starting to see the energy come alive down here in southern Mississippi. Hattiesburg starting to see scattered showers and thunderstorms. These are collectively going to get larger and increase in strength and size. And then, of course, their potential is going to change exponentially. Going to get windier, more rain, larger hail, and possibly tornadoes, straight line winds. Predicting winds of at least 75 mile an hour in places with regard to straight line winds and wind gusts of hurricane force. So you know the drill. Be safe. Summerall, Columbia. I think I mentioned Kentwood already. Brookhaven, that was another area. And Simisport, yeah. This area here, down in southeastern Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi. The energy is starting to show up. It's arriving. It's right on time. Just like was forecasted, starting to move away from Lake Charles. Starting to clear out in some of those areas. Alexandria is clearing out a little bit, not raining near as hard, but all of this energy is moving over to Mississippi. With again, as I mentioned earlier, the severe component staying pretty much south. Yeah, it's raining in Arkansas, and it's going to continue to rain in Arkansas and parts of Arkansas, especially southern Arkansas. But they should not saying that there won't be, because the weather can be unpredictable. That's why weather is forecasted, and forecasts can and will change. But they shouldn't see any tornadoes up in Arkansas. Doesn't mean they won't, but as of right now, they should not. Will they see some rain? Oh, absolutely. Right now, we're focusing on Louisiana and Mississippi. Those are the areas where things are probably going to get very active here real soon. I know it's been active all morning. We've seen a lot of rain, seen some high winds, a few tornadoes here and there. Some didn't touch the ground, thankfully. There were a couple of reports of people that did see tornadoes on the ground. So but these storms are moving along at a good clip. They're already out of the Lake Charles area. Doesn't mean they're not going to be scattered storms throughout the remainder of the day, but this energy has quickly, and I mean very quickly, made its way over to Mississippi. So Mississippi, it's almost noon there, I believe, or it already is. There's a camera there in Jackson, Mississippi that's quiet for now. There's a camera in northeastern Louisiana in the Monroe area. They're still seeing some rain right now. And we'll see rain for the next few hours, actually. At least a couple of hours, you know. Stay on that bridge for a minute. There was some power outages in southern Louisiana. I just don't think this is... There it is. I thought so. Southern Louisiana, I think. Let's look and see. Oh, that's that area there. Okay, that would be northeastern Louisiana. This area here, Concordia County, these areas, Madison County, these areas here could see tornadoes still throughout this afternoon, guys. So if you're in that area, big heads up, no joke. That'll run through here. I did some extensive research yesterday, and I don't have it right here on my desktop. I'm just saying, this area right here, a lot of possible tornado activity today. Just letting you know. Again, it's just possible. Forecasts change all the time. They can change in 15 minutes. This is changing, evolving as we watch it, you know. But the models that I use a lot showed a lot of tornado activity in southeastern Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi, and across central Mississippi. And that is for today. Didn't say what time. I think noon, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. But this is going to continue on through this evening and possibly into the overnight hours into Alabama. And, you know, same applies. Heavy rain, high winds, tornado watches. Just waiting on the new update, which should be any minute. You can see the thunderstorms are clearly in the Mississippi now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. See the yellow corrals here? Actually 5, actually 4. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. There it is. That's what I was waiting on. Right there it is. New tornado warning that includes Yazoo City. That's over in Mississippi. Expires in 1 hour and 3 minutes. Probably no text yet. Yeah, they're still working on that. But you can see the area right here extending pretty good ways. Let's see how far it is, in fact. We'll go back from here to here. Extends 50 miles, linear miles that way, including Yazoo City. Tornado warnings area right here for the next hour. And this is now in Mississippi. I would expect more activity in Mississippi than I would what we've seen so far. There'll probably be more activity in Mississippi. And that's just putting that out there, all right? There'll probably be more in Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana. So just a heads up, guys. Handle it accordingly. You're smart. You know what time it is. You've got common sense. Just use it. Have a plan. Just know where your interior room's at, and basement would be perfect. But you know, not everybody has a basement. I get that, but You can still seek shelter in an most interior room with no glass. Can't emphasize that enough. No glass, because it's not the glass that, well, the glass is the problem, but it's flying projectiles in high winds associated with tornadoes and straight line winds. If they're forecasting straight line winds over here today of 75 miles per hour, just imagine a projectile moving, at minimum of 75 miles an hour going through the window of your home. Well, it's going to impact you if you're in the path of that thing, and so is the broken glass. So it's best to get in an interior room, and that gives you two walls. The exterior wall and the wall that you're in the room of will protect you from any flying glass and flying debris. That's all. So just have a plan, especially under these types of conditions when there's, just constant severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado watches that span for hundreds of miles. It's unbelievable. Here's a severe thunderstorm warning down west of Jackson, Mississippi, including Learned, Utica. Let's see if they have any text. No current text available. They're just trying to keep up with all this stuff. It's a lot to keep up with, It is a lot to keep up with. Here's another severe thunderstorm warning. Includes Duck Hill, Greenwood, Winona. This is in Mississippi for the next hour and 15 minutes from the National Weather Service out of Jackson, Mississippi. At 11:51 Central Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Banna to Chula, moving northeast 45 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. A tornado watch remains in effect until 7 p.m. for central and north central Mississippi. And they also emphasized, for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building, or your home, and stay away from glass. Flying projectiles. Not much you can do about downed trees if they come down, or branches. I mean, you can stay away from them, stay inside, but those flying projectiles, I've seen two before, stuck in the side of homes. A variety of different things. But as long as they stuck in the wall of the home, and you weren't anywhere near that exterior wall, if you were near an interior wall, you were safe. But again, tornado warning right now, new warning in Yazoo City, Mississippi, expires 1 hour from now. Conditions are very favorable in this area for tornadoes, in the area of Yazoo City, Mississippi, and that would be just north of Jackson, Mississippi, and north and slightly east of Vicksburg, Mississippi. And there are severe thunderstorms in the Vicksburg, Mississippi area. Jackson, not so much yet. They're moving towards the general area of Jackson, but no storms there yet. Nothing major, a little bit of scattered activity on the outskirts of town, but no major storms in Jackson just yet. Tornado warning, Yazoo City. Again, look for tornadoes down here around Centerville, Crosby. I can't emphasize Natchez enough. St. Joseph. This area here, that would be southern Mississippi, southern Louisiana, southeastern Louisiana, right in here. That would be like right now. from this time in the next couple of hours, especially right in this area. If you're in the area of Natchez, I'm gonna go from Natchez out this area here. You guys in that circle? Are you in this circle here? Jenna, Clayton, St. Joseph, New Welton, Crosby, Centerville, of course, Natchez, that area. Uh-oh, new tornado warning. Here we go. Expires in 56 minutes. I don't know if there's any details. We'll look. Yes, there are details. So this is a new one. National Weather Service out of Norman, Oklahoma. Effective. What? No, okay, there's no text available. I was going to say, there's a tornado warning until 7 p.m. tonight? No, they just don't have it updated yet. But that is a new tornado warning. That's brand new. And wait a minute, did they have the details? I know they had the details for the tornado watch. Yeah, here we go. This is what we're looking for. This is out of Jackson, Mississippi, updated at 12:01 p.m. Tornado warning 4. Here we go. East Central Warren County in west central Mississippi, southern Yazoo County in central Mississippi, northern Hinds County in central Mississippi, southwestern Madison County in central Mississippi until 1 p.m. That would be local time. At 12 noon, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Bovina, or 7 miles east of Vicksburg, moving east at a staggering 65 miles per hour. Tornado and quarter-size hail. Be on the lookout for flying debris. Take cover now in a basement interior room and avoid windows. That's this area right here, guys. We were just talking about that. Yeah, definitely avoid windows. So if you're in the area of Vicksburg, Yazoo City, Eden, what's another area? Ridgeland, Canton. Good possibility of tornadoes there. Here's a new update. Well, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, quite possibly so. Zoom in for a little better look. See it right there? Showed up on the map just north of Port Gibson. That's a TVS. That's a tornadic vortex or tornado vortex signature in the clouds right there. So it doesn't necessarily, well, let's take a look. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to the correlation coefficient right there and we'll see. No, not anything profound. Might have seen a hook echo there or something, but nevertheless, place to watch near Port Gibson. There's a couple more up here. Check it out. That's probably a TVS. Yeah, TVS. 9:56 a.m. It was, again, a radar signature, not necessarily on the ground. TVS at 9:56 a.m. So action is starting to increase. You can see the long storm tracks, and the reason they're long like that is because of the high speed of the storms. They have a better chance of staying organized and creating longer tracks because of their incredible speed. The one we just talked about was moving at a forward speed of 65 miles an hour. That reminds me of the year we saw the double tornadoes in central Mississippi. The storms were moving at an unbelievable speed. I think some of them were moving at 85 miles an hour. Just unreal. I'd never seen anything equivalent to that. I'd seen storms move at 70, and even 65. It's rare, but it happens, of course. 80, 85. That was super rare, and there was a super rare outcome. Twin major tornadoes on the ground at the same time that were long track tornadoes. So when you have extreme conditions like that, there are a pretty good chance that you're going to see, extreme things on the ground, whether it be hail or tornadoes in that particular case, especially when it involves high speeds and the wind moving that fast. When you have a very strong low-level jet, it creates spin. Not everywhere, but randomly, when conditions are just right, it's going to create a vortex because of the strong speed of the low-level jet. So, of course, there's going to be tornadoes. So you can see it's moving over into Mississippi very quickly. And it's not messing around. You can see it's starting to coagulate. These storms are reaching for each other. They're going to form a large system of systems like you see over here in Louisiana. And you're going to see a lot of activity this afternoon and this evening in Mississippi. And just the storms themselves are long track storms. It's going basically from, wow, are you serious? Okay. Yeah, this one. That's a long track. And then these over here are starting to see them grow with each frame. Every time the frame recycles, these storms get bigger and bigger. Tornado warnings here. Severe thunderstorm here. Severe thunderstorm here. Severe thunderstorm here. And they just got into Mississippi. An area that I would pay close attention to is this area right here. It's kind of on the Mississippi-Louisiana line. And it's in southeastern Mississippi, southeastern Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi. The sounding for this area right here yesterday, multiple times. Multiple signs, the return, and that was at 1800 Zulu, which would be 12. The returns, the sound returns were TOR, and TOR represents tornado. Again, you don't see that very often, and it was consistent. The 8 out of 10 that I checked, 8 of them were tornadic, and we'll probably verify. We'll wait and see. It was in this area here where there's already a cluster of thunderstorms. See these dots here? Those are thunderstorms that are starting to take off. So that area, can't emphasize enough, if you're in the Natchez area, yeah, and I can see the effects of the daytime heating, because it's high noon now in these areas. So we're reaching peak solar, and then we're going to have all the afternoon sunlight, but it's going to cause these storms to become stronger. They're going to produce more tornadoes. Just be stronger overall, that's all. So look for more tornadoes as we move throughout the day. There's that bridge in southern Louisiana. If it's still online, I don't know if it's online or not. It's kind of windy down here, but I've seen this one here survive a Cat 4 hurricane. So check the power outages real quick, and then I'm going to reconfigure for a minute, guys. Yeah, we got power outages up in Arkansas. California, that's an ongoing thing. It's been like that for months. I think they have rolling outages. But Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, those are all definitely weather related. Not quite sure though what's going on up in especially like west central Kansas. What's up? I don't know. There's not really. I'm just saying I'm not seeing any. Here's a camera from the area. Is it online? Yeah. Is it storming? Let's look. No. Why is there power outages all through west central Kansas? Good question. Good question. All right, guys, I'm gonna. There's the bridge cam again. I said I was on this one during a hurricane. Pretty wild. The camera was bouncing up and down like crazy, and it survived. Survived the landfall of a Cat 4 hurricane. Okay, just heads up today, guys. I'm gonna take a 30-minute break. Okay, I'll be back on in 30 minutes. Check back with my channel in 30 minutes. I don't think these are obviously getting recommended, so you're going to have to just check back in. But I'm going to regroup, check back in if you want to watch to my YouTube channel at, let's say, 10:45. Give me about 30 minutes to regroup. I gotta find some other things that I want to use in the next video. But check back in, because the video is obviously not getting recommended. I mean, there's 200 of you guys on here, and that's great. But I want to reach to the people of Mississippi. It's going to be an eventful afternoon. It really and truly is. So make sure you check back in about 30 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.